FSC Biology Chapter 12 complete. FSC Biology Chapter 12 complete. The best line summarized for the preparation of PPSC lecturer and subject specialist zoology and biology. In this lecture, we shall focus on these major topics. Now, remember one thing, that every success has a long story of struggle to tell. So keep on hard working, keep on struggling, and finally, inshallah, the success will kiss your feet one day. So let's start. Nitrogen is present in proteins. Phosphorus is present in ATP and nucleic acids, and cytochromes contain iron elements. So these are the sources. Please remember. Deficiency of nitrogen cause stunted growth and chlorosis in older leaves. Deficiency of phosphorus causes stunted growth of roots. So note the difference, please. Deficiency of potassium causes leaf margins yellow and brown and premature death of plants. So the premature death of plants occur as a result of deficiency of potassium. Deficiency of magnesium results in chlorosis as well, like nitrogen. Now, mineral deficiency diseases nowadays are quickly diagnosed using color photography. Saprophytic organisms digest dead leaves or rotting tree trunks by excreting enzymes and then absorb the digested products, whereas bacteria break down proteins of dead organisms and release nitrates which recycle into ecosystems. Parasites of plants penetrate in suckers of conducting tissues, that is phloem, to obtain food. Puccinia is fungus parasite of wheat plant. Dodder, the Cuscuta, is a leafless plant that lives as twinning parasite. Now please remember, twinning parasite is a distinctive word here and it must be remembered by you. Examples of symbiotic relationships are lichens, mycorrhizae and bacteria in the nodules of roots. In mycorrhizae, fungus provide water, minerals and phosphorus to higher plants. Phosphorus is important here to be remembered, please. Leguminous plants have bacteria in their root nodules which fix nitrogen to nitrates. All insectivorous plants are true autotrophs. Now remember that insectivorous doesn't mean they only eat insects, but they are actually autotrophs, but they feed on insects and small animals to supplement their growth or increase their growth. Insectivorous plants obtain nitrogen by digesting their prey. Digestion may increase by enzymes secreted by plant itself or bacteria which decompose the captured prey inside them. These are the three main examples of insectivorous plants: pitcher plant, Venus flytrap and sundew, and their scientific names are important for you to remember. Now Sarracenia purpura, the pitcher plant, has leaves modified like a sac or pitcher. So the pitcher are actually leaves. This pitcher is partly filled with water and have stiff hairs which prevent escape of the prey. Captured prey is decomposed either by bacteria or enzymes and then absorbed. Now Dionaea muscipula, the Venus flytrap, have bilobed leaves with midrib. So bilobed leaves are the characteristics of Venus flytrap. On the margins of each lobe, long stiff bristles are present to capture the prey. So bristles are the keyword. Captured prey is digested by enzymes secreted by plant itself and no bacteria are involved in the digestion and then food is absorbed. Now Drosera intermedia, the sundew, have hair-like tentacles on leaves with glands at tips. So in which insectivorous plant glands are present at the tips of the leaves, that is sundew. Insects are attracted by plant odor. That is another salient feature of this insectivorous plant, that it attracts the insects using its typical smell and become entangled in the tentacles. So tentacles are present in Drosera intermedia. Insect proteins are digested by enzymes of own and then the food is absorbed. So now remember that the bacteria only help the pitcher plant to digest the food, while the rest both can digest their food on their own using their enzymes. Animal nutrition. Those animals which feed on organic debris of decomposing plants and animals are called detritivores, and the example is earthworm, which is a detritus feeder and ingest fragments of decaying organic matter present in the soil. Herbivores may be rodents and ungulates. Rodent mean they cut the plants with their teeth and then fragments are eaten. Ungulates have their large grinding surfaced molars and premolars, have large gap between incisors and premolars, and they do not have canines. That is a salient feature. Now, no upper incisors in sheep and deer. Please remember, no upper incisors in sheep and deer is browsing as well as grazing. So browsing is eating the leaves by standing on the hind legs. Predator prey interaction stabilize the ecosystem. So which relationship stabilize the ecosystem? Predator prey. Rabbits in Australia proved menace for farmers when they were introduced without their natural prey there. Carnivores have large canine teeth for catching and tearing the prey. Filter feeders filter the water and digest the extracted particles. For example, mussel. Mussel have two large gills covered with cilia. Now, two large gills are important here for you to remember. Water enter body through inhalant siphon and leaves through exhalant siphon, as the name suggests. Particles are trapped due to sticky secretions, secretory cells among cilia. These secretory cells actually secrete these kind of sticky substances which are then pushed to mouth. Some whales are also filter feeders. That is a distinctive point. When food is ingested in liquid form, the animal is called fluid feeder. So now note the difference between the filter feeder and fluid feeder. Aphids and mosquitoes are fluid feeders. Aphids insert their delicate stylet into phloem of green stems and suck their food, while female mosquito is blood sucker of humans and other animals. So they are actually fluid feeders. They feed whole fluid as a food. Taking in large pieces of food like tentacular feeding, scraping and seizing. These are the three types of macrophages feeding. Is macrophages feeding? Hydra is tentacular, snail is scraper, and the spotted dogfish is seizer. Please remember the spotted dogfish name. Parasitism. Flea and lice are ectoparasites which live on the body. Mammals and birds which suck blood. Ticks and mites are ectoparasites of non-human animals. Aphid is a parasite of plant which sucks food from stem or leaves. Leech is an ectoparasite which attack both aquatic and terrestrial animals and suck the blood. Most endoparasites are found in intestines of man. So, Entamoeba histolytica, tapeworm and roundworms are common examples of endoparasites. Digestion in amoeba. Now please your focus is required to learn all these facts. Very important things are coming up. Amoeba proteus has intracellular digestion by phagocytosis. So all the digestion occur within the cell. Paramecium is engulfed or phagocytosed by amoeba forming large vacuole inside. Lysosome contain hydrolytic enzymes which digest this food. First, the food is killed and softened due to acidity about pH 5.6, and then that pH changes to alkaline up to 7.3 at the end. Vacuole size becomes smaller at first due to loss of water. That is a technical point here for you to understand. When digestion completes, the pH is alkaline, that is 7.3. When food is completely digested, various canals are formed from vacuole membrane itself to pass only digested food and not the waste to other parts of the cell. Food is distributed in cytoplasm through these canals and is utilized. Digestion in hydra. Now hydra has vase-like body. That MCQ has already been asked in the past paper, that which of the following animal has vase-like body, and that was actually very confusing for the candidates, and has gastrovascular cavity coelenterone with mouth only. Nematocysts are stinging cells, or you may also call them as stinging organs, with hollow thread coiled in capsule and trigger. When prey like Daphnia or Cyclope, so hydra food is Daphnia and Cyclope, comes in contact with nidocyl. Nidocyls actually are the stimulating cells outside. Thread of nematocyst turns inside out and secrete poison. When prey is paralyzed or killed, Hydra grasp its tentacles and push it inside cavity. Gastrodermis has glandular cells which secrete enzymes for extracellular digestion. So the first digestion is extracellular outside the cells in the Hydra. Flagellate cells in gastrodermis and body contraction. These two factors collectively mix the enzymes with food. Then gastrodermal cells phagocytose the smaller particles for intracellular digestion. Now note here that in Hydra both extracellular and intracellular digestion takes place. Intracellular digestion occurs in the vacuoles of the cells. Digestion in planaria. Mouth is located on ventral surface in middle of animal or on lower surface which open into pharynx. Pharynx is muscular and tubular. Muscular and tubular, these are the keywords here, which further opens into intestine. Now intestine divides into three branches, one anterior and two lateral. These three main branches further divide into blind-ended smaller ones called cecae. Pharynx protrude out from mouth to engulf the food which is digested in intestine. Small food particles after enzymatic extracellular digestion are engulfed by phagocytic cells where digestion completes intracellularly. So both kind of digestion also occur in planaria. Digested food then diffuses to rest of the body. Undigested food is ingested through mouth because it is sac-like digestive system. Digestion in cockroach, the most important one. Digestive system is tubular with mouth and anus in cockroach. It has foregut, midgut and hindgut. Now mouth cavity, pharynx, crop and gizzard, all these four structures are collectively called as foregut. Pair of salivary glands is present in thorax to secrete saliva into mouth. Midgut is short, narrow tube called mesenteron stomach. That MCQ has already been asked. Mesenteron stomach is present in. Short finger-like hollow tubes, the hepatic cecae, open into anterior end of midgut. Hindgut is long coiled tube having thick-walled terminal chamber, the rectum. Saliva digests starch in food which then is stored in crop. Food leaves the crop chunk by chunk and is then ground in a gizzard. So gizzard actually ground the food or grind the food. Digestion completes in midgut and waste are stored in cecum and then they are sent out via anus or cloaca. Digestion in man. Tongue play its role in selection of food using taste buds. There are three pairs of salivary glands: sublingual, below the tongue, submaxillary, behind the jaws and parotid in front of ears. Their location is important for you to remember. Saliva contains sodium bicarbonate, salt with mucus and amylase or Tylen enzyme. Sodium bicarbonate is antiseptic actually as well as stabilize pH of food. Fresh saliva is alkaline with pH of nearly 8, but quickly it loses carbon dioxide and its pH become acidic, which is 6. Tylen or salivary amylase digests starch and glycogen into maltose. Please remember, here is a confusion created by many candidates or students that this is converted into glucose. No, glucose is not formed. Actually, maltose is formed in the mouth. Small oval lump of food which is swallowed is called bolus. Opening of windpipe is glottis. Now glottis is opening of windpipe, not esophagus, and the cover is epiglottis. Beginning of swallowing is voluntary. Once you start swallowing, it is voluntary, but when it started, it become automatic or involuntary. Wave of contractions and relaxations of circular and longitudinal muscles. So two kinds of muscles are present in the digestive tract. Elementary to push the food down is called peristalsis. Simple. Vomiting is due to antiperistalsis. Hunger pangs, important thing. Hunger pangs or hunger contractions are peristalsis contractions due to low blood glucose level. They may start after 12 to 24 hours of previous meal. Cardiac sphincters, which are present near to heart, are a ring of muscles at junction of esophagus and stomach which only open when peristalsis contractions reach there. Pyrosis or heartburn is a painful sensation of burning due to backflush of acidic chyme into esophagus. Stomach. Wall of stomach has three layers: outer connective tissue, middle smooth muscles, and inner mucosa made from connective tissue as well, but have glands. Middle layer has two types of muscles: outer longitudinal and inner circular muscles. Please remember these deep points are very important for PPSC. Gastric glands are present in mucosa which are made from three types of cells. Oxyntic or parietal cells secrete HCl while zymogen cells secrete pepsinogen. Please remember, zymogens are actually inactive enzymes. Secretion of gastric juice is regulated by smell, sight and quality of food. More protein in food stimulate production of gastrin hormone from gastric endocrine lining into blood, which stimulate gastric glands to produce more juice. So more proteins, more juice due to gastrin. HCl is secreted in concentrated form and adjusts the pH up to 2 to 3 for pepsin. HCl kills many microorganisms also. Now please remember that the optimum pH for pepsin is from 2 to 3. Pepsinogen is inactive form of pepsin and is activated by acidic medium or already active pepsin. Now that is important. Already active pepsin can also activate the pepsinogen. Pepsin hydrolyzes proteins into peptones and polypeptides, not amino acids. Semi-solid mass of food in stomach is called chyme. Pyloric sphincter is junction between stomach and duodenum. Duodenum is about 20 to 25 centimeter long. Acidity stimulate pancreas, liver and duodenal cells to release their secretions. Pancreatic and hepatic or liver secretions are also stimulated by hormone secretin. So secretin stimulate actually pancreas and liver. Secretin is produced by intestinal mucosal cells by acidity when acidic food enters into duodenum and released into blood because it's a hormone, endocrine hormone. Secretin also inhibit the secretion of gastric juice in stomach because there is no need now. Pancreas. Amylopsin or amylase. Enzyme digests starch into maltose. Lipase hydrolyzes small percentage of fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Trypsin is secreted in inactive form trypsinogen and activated by enterokinase. Please remember, trypsin like pepsin splits proteins into peptones and polypeptides. No amino acids still. Sodium bicarbonate is pancreatic juice, neutralizes acidity because it is a base. Liver. Bile is temporarily stored in gallbladder and released into duodenum. Bile contain no enzymes and its green color is due to breakdown of hemoglobin. That important point is necessary for you. Why bile has green color? Because that is due to breakdown of hemoglobin. Bile salts emulsify fats into small droplets easily digested by water soluble lipase. So lipase is an enzyme which is water soluble. Another important MCQ. If bile accumulate in blood, the condition is called jaundice. Gallstones are produced by precipitation of cholesterol in gallbladder. So the gallstones are not produced as a result of any salt, but they are produced as a result of cholesterol. That is another distinctive feature. Laceration is rupturing or tearing of liver which result in severe bleeding of liver. So laceration, the keyword is important for you. Now, liver enlargement or inflammation occur due to heart malfunctioning, hepatitis or hepatic cancer as well. Some digestive enzymes. Jejunum is the middle portion of small intestine which is about 2.4 meter or form 2 by 5th. 2 by 5th is important, while last part of small intestine is ileum which is 3 by 5th of total small intestine. Aminopeptidase acts on polypeptides and convert them into dipeptides. Now the dipeptides are formed by aminopeptidase enzyme. Eripsin act on dipeptides to convert them into amino acids. So the only enzyme we have learned so far is eripsin, which convert amino acids finally. Maltase acts on maltose to convert it into glucose. Lactase act on lactose sugar and break it into glucose and galactose, while the renin is present in the children's stomach to digest the lactose sugar of the milk. Absorption. Nearly all absorption takes place in ileum. Ileum, the last part of small intestine. Villi are present in ileum, which are finger-like outgrowths to increase surface area. Each villus has lacteal of lymphatic system and rich capillaries covered by epithelium. Epithelial cells surrounding villus are as further closely packed cylindrical processes. Epithelial cells, so those are called as microvilli, and these are visible under electron microscope only. Simple sugars and amino acids are absorbed by diffusion or active transport, while most fatty acids and glycerol enter epithelial cells and not into blood directly, but recombine in the epithelial cells to form fats again. These fats then enter the lacteals, because lacteals have large pores, and form lipoproteins by joining two proteins inside the lymph. These lipoproteins in the lymph droplets enter blood via thoracic lymphatic duct. That is the important entry point. Lipoproteins, when in blood, are hydrolyzed by blood plasma enzymes again. Rapid cell division in crypts produce new villi cells after shedding off older ones in the small intestine. Large intestine. Now ileocolic sphincter is at junction of ileum and large intestine. Now please remember, we have learned three kinds of sphincters until now. Cecum is blind sac that projects between ileum and colon. From blind end of cecum, finger-like process arises called as appendix. Appendicitis is inflammation caused by entrapping and purification of food in it. Water and dissolved salts are absorbed by large intestine. Waste material is consisted of bacteria, plant fibers, mucosal cells, mucus, cholesterol, bile pigments, and water. These ingredients are basically used to test. Vitamin K is synthesized by bacteria residing in colon. If water does not absorb in large intestine, diarrhea occurs, while excessive absorption results into constipation. Please remember, anus is surrounded by two sphincters, internal smooth sphincter and outer striped muscles sphincter. So we have learned 5 kinds of sphincters in the digestive tract. Now important info from the table. Bile is concentrated by gallbladder by absorbing water and electrolytes. So the concentration of bile occurs in the gallbladder. Sublingual salivary glands secrete only mucus without amylase enzyme. Goblet cells in small intestine secrete mucus for protection of gut wall, and they also secrete mucus in the large intestine as well. So goblet cells, where they are present, they only secrete mucus. Absorptive cells in small intestine secrete enterokinase, amylase, peptidases, sucrase, maltase, lactase, and lipase enzymes. So these all enzymes are actually secreted by absorptive cells in small intestine. Endocrine cells in stomach and small intestine secrete gastrin hormone as well. So both endocrine cells in stomach and intestine secrete the gastrin. Diseases. Dyspepsia. Dyspepsia is incomplete or imperfect digestion, and it is not a disease itself. It may result due to excessive acidity of stomach or less bile secretion. Food poisoning is caused by toxins produced by Salmonella and Campylobacter or bacteria taken with unpasteurized milk, poorly cooked meat, chicken or duck. Salmonella bacteria are present in frozen meat, so while defrosting the meat, it must not come in contact with other food because Salmonella can transfer. Botulism, very important, is severe form of food poisoning caused by toxins of Clostridium botulinum. Please remember this name. These toxins can selectively infect only central nervous system, cardiac and respiratory paralysis. The next disease is obesity. Fat is stored in adipose tissue in abdomen, around kidneys and under skin. Now these fat cells which form adipose tissue have large globules of fat which pushes cytoplasm and nucleus aside. Anorexia nervosa. Loss of appetite due to fear of being obese, common in females from 12 to 21 years, and it affects usually just after onset of puberty. Bulimia nervosa. Neurotic disorder in older girls due to overeating fattening food, eating followed by self-induced vomiting, fasting and purgative. Now self-induced vomiting is important here, which result in serum electrolyte imbalance. So serum electrolyte is another keyword in this line. The next disease is piles. Piles in Urdu we may say bawasir. Hemorrhoids or piles are masses of dilated tortuous veins in anorectal mucosa. Bleeding start while bowel movement, especially during constipation. Ulcer. When mucus layer breaks somewhere in the digestive tract, from inner walls of digestive tract, enzyme eat the walls of digestive tract itself. This sore is called ulcer, and in severe cases a complete hole develops in the walls of digestive tract, and contents of the food or undigested food or digested food spills into abdominal cavity, which further cause infections and that may prove fatal as well. Peptic ulcer is caused by excessive secretion of gastric acid. So please remember, this is a special type of ulcer, peptic ulcer, and it is caused by gastric acid. In the next video, inshallah, chapter 13, complete the gaseous exchange. Hope you are learning and struggling for the success in PPSC. It is very important for you to keep on struggling, to keep on learning, to keep on working in a sequence, so that you may remember the facts easily and can reproduce or can originate from your mind when it is needed. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.